gotta milk that cow. Like, we're gonna milk that content, baby. Get that bread. What? Is there a problem?
Yeah. No, you're good. You got it.
Okay, all right. I'll
Welcome to the Hęrtźøg Hoops Podcast, Episode 1. My name's Noah. His name's Desmond. We're here to talk about sports and other shenanigans. Desmond, do you want to introduce yourself?
All right. I'm Desmond. I am a bit of a all-around content creator, I guess you could say. I write for Fansided, do a little bit of football, a little bit of basketball. Man, that thunder outside is loud. I hope my mic isn't picking it up. I also, whenever I feel the motivation to, occasionally upload on YouTube. After a bit of a 3-month or so hiatus, I have now uploaded like 3 videos in a span of a day, and hopefully I'm going to be getting more content out soon, but we'll have to see. Who knows?
Wow, it turns out that uploading has its benefits.
Yeah, after like a 3-month hiatus.
If someone told you to do that for 3 months.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, I'm Noah. I make basketball content on YouTube. Funny enough, the channel that this podcast is going on was originally my first channel that I made. But I don't use that channel anymore for what it was for. So I decided, let's just make this for the podcast now. I try to integrate both film and numbers into my videos, and on top of that I do a lot of NBA stuff, but some NBA draft stuff as well. And with this podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to do like the episode, obviously, and then throughout the week we'll be uploading clips from the podcast, YouTube shorts, based off of like what we get from the podcast. We're milking the content. That's what we are doing.
Oh yeah, I've never milked a cow before, but I'd imagine it's emotion like this. We really gotta milk that cow. Like, we're gonna milk that content, baby. Get that bread. What? Is there a problem?
Yeah. No, you're good. You got it.
Okay, all right. I was milking the content, Noah.
Anyways, John Collins got traded for a bag of peanuts and a wrap snack with a dab of ants, basically. You got traded for it's John Collins and like a second-round pick that like might not even convey.
Is it protected?
I don't know if it's protected or not, but it's one of those ones where we won't remember that pick in a few years.
Yeah, I don't know when it is, but like it'll say like whatever pick via Atlanta or via Utah, and no one's gonna remember what trade it came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but John Collins has been on the trade block really since I started making content when I was 17.
Yeah, been a while.
I'm gonna be 22 years old this summer, so that's like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, I mean, really, like since he was like after his rookie year, it feels like he's been up in those conversations.
And it is what it is. We saw it coming eventually. We thought.
Yeah, I mean, it had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It was only a matter
funny
of
because
time,
it's like him and Miles Turner are the two that come to mind.
Yeah, but the weird thing about Miles Turner is he should have been traded by now.
The thing about Miles, I don't think he was ever on the trade block. I don't think he ever was going to get traded.
He should have been.
I think he wanted to get traded.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the Pacers have ever wanted to trade. I'm like, no, we're perfectly fine with keeping you. But John Collins is a funny player because he's not a bad NBA player. There's no such thing as a bad NBA player because if you make it to the NBA, you are incredibly good at basketball. But for his contract, he is not very good. And relative to his contract, which is $25 million a year, not great. Not great.
Oh, yeah, he's probably one of the worst players making 25 plus mil.
Yeah. There's one play in particular I saw when the trade, and by the way, the reaction from Hawks fans was the greatest thing ever. you would have thought they just won the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they do not like this guy
him
at all.
They don't like John Collins. They do not rock with that man.
There is one trade in particular that I want to show. One play.
Let's take a look.
Alrighty, so we got Pistons versus Hawks.
And
this was John Collins on this play.
Okay. Okay, so that's Killian Hayes on him, and doesn't even dribble the ball. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. That's
not
that's really bad.
Not
that's
great.
really bad.
Not great.
Yeah,
Not great to
Killian
see.
Hayes is not someone that you should have like any problem backing down. I'm pretty sure he's like an okay defender on the perimeter, not the post. Not a good look for Mr. Collins there.
And there's more as well, because my last basketball memory of John Collins was him in the playoffs.
Oh,
and
Lord.
he had to the end next year. He had 2 good games back to back at the end of that series. But as I'm pulling it up here, no, sir. I don't need to pull it up. I'll just read the stats right now.
Okay.
They're the first 4 games of the series.
And the series went to how much?
Games.
6. Got it.
First 4 games. 7.5 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game to 1.3 turnovers per game, 1 block per game, 32.4, 21.1, 80 shooting splits.
That 1 block per game is probably a lot more than he normally averages. So
I feel like he blocks shots.
Good on him. I feel like he actually might, just because of how athletic he is. He might just get.
He averages literally 1 block a game for his career.
Really?
Which should be a lot more. He's absurdly athletic. Like one of the most athletic players I've ever seen. Like in person. I need
to be more of a John Collins fan, I guess. Gotta learn up.
You not John Collins hive?
No, I used to be. After his rookie year, I thought he was going to be like God. I have a couple autographs
future
from
MVP?
his rookie year. Yeah, future MVP with the former MVP.
Now he's with Larry Markkinen. So he's the former future MVP with the future MVP. I want to pull up this picture of John Collins because it's one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
In terms of basketball, this is easily one of the funniest photos.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be able to beat the Karl Anthony Towns posting up DeMarcus Cousins picture. That was pretty. I remember that too.
And he tripped over it as well.
I remember he broke it.
Low key, kind of fun, kind of like freak athlete moment. You trip over an object and still dunk the basketball. But that's not what we're here to see. We're here to make fun of it.
Yeah, no, the moment I saw the plan, I was like, oh, he's going to do like what Blake Griffin did when he jumped over the car. And then I realized, wait, that's a plane. I don't know if he can do that. And then he didn't. I mean, he technically did, but he's, broke a piece off. But it's just the fit he had on when he did that dunk makes it, so iconic. Like, why does he have the cap and scarf? What purpose does that serve you?
It's for his aura.
I hate that word. I hate that word.
But, yeah, so the John Collins trade was the big thing today.
Yeah, it's been really kind of boring since the NBA draft was 4 or 5 days ago, but it's been pretty quiet.
Do you want to look at, speaking of draft, do you want to look at some draft fits from...
Oh, dude. Especially from this year's draft, I would love to.
So let's do that now. I think that's fair to say we something. So I had to zoom out because of the fact that Victor is so fucking tall. So we'll just go fit by fit. We got one. I don't know how they made oversized pants for him.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, this is an okay fit. It looks like he's wearing more of like a robe than a suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd imagine it's pretty hard to tailor a suit for a man who's like 7'5".
No, but the funny thing is, that's just Michael Jordan's regular suit.
Wait, what?
Have you ever seen a picture of Michael Jordan's suit? Michael Jordan in the suit?
No. No, I mean, I'm sure I've seen him in a suit, but I don't know if I've seen him in the suit you're referencing.
That's like the size that Michael Jordan wears the suits at.
Wait, what?
What?
Are you telling me they have the same size suit?
What? Hang on. I'll show you.
All right. Oh, man.
Look at these things.
Oh, wow.
Look at these big ass suits.
Yeah, that... I mean,
you
like,
tell me
I
that
have...
wouldn't look like a normal suit on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, I have 1 or 2 suits, and they don't go that far down on me, like, at all. That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him next to... Is that Bugs Bunny?
Yeah. So let's go back to the other ones now. Because there's more. There's more that we can look up after the ones that we go through, because they don't have all of them, unfortunately, like they didn't last year. But Victor's solid. I think Miller's suit was solid. I think it's fire to have the thumbnails of videos on YouTube about you inside the suit.
I rock with the inside of the suit. I really don't like the pattern on the outside of the suit. I get what he's going for red for, I'd assume, Alabama. But I'd give that like a 5.5 out of 10.
Now we get to like the third, in my opinion, like by far the best suit of the night.
Oh, dude! Oh, that's a 10.
And also,
I don't
he
care.
had the bottom
that goes
grill,
so hard.
and they all had, I think, the both gems of like all his family members as the grill. Like it was just an unreal fit.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite draft fits of all time are Darius Garland and Kai Jones.
Shout out Kai Jones.
Kai Jones I'll pull pictures of him after. But this might overtake it.
My favorite is probably Jalen Brunson's. Considering he's my Knicks point guard, he probably has the best draft fit I've personally ever seen.
We can pull that up.
It's so funny because like you can tell. I don't want to say that he's never worn a suit before, but that he was not prepared to like for the light of the NBA draft, because he literally went there dressed up like an accountant, and it was so funny.
I don't think he actually went to the draft because he was a second round pick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But this fit is still.
he looks like a high school basketball coach. Oh,
he looks like he got suspended for the game, but he still got to show up because his grades are bad.
Oh my god. I love Jalen Brunson, but why? Why that fit? Like 30 years from now, that's what he's going to be remembered for.
I remember his draft though, because one, it was 2018. It's longer ago than I want to admit it was.
Yeah.
But I still have like vivid memories of it. I covered that draft. Yeah. I was shocked. 1, by the fact that he didn't go in the first round, and 2, by the fact that he wasn't the second or third Villanova player off the board. Mikal Bridges was going top 10. Like that.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo, I understand. Like, he had the athletic upside. He was coming off like an absurd Final Four run. But there's no reason Eric Pascal should have gone ahead of him.
What happened to Eric Pascal?
I don't know.
Is he like a bad dude?
No, I don't know. I want to speculate on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I remember he had a good rookie year, and then just
I just think that like he had a good year he had like a solid year on a bad team on a really bad Warriors team.
Yeah, I remember that.
But like people like Jalen Brunson was like National Player of the Year. Like, that's what he was. So I was shocked he didn't go first round. He had all the tools to look for in the first round pick. And obviously, in hindsight, he goes like top 10 pretty easily in that class.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Probably, but really, like, probably towards like the second half of the top 10 because 2018 is a loaded draft class.
Oh my god, dude. It's such a, like, especially like going back to back of 2017 and 2018.
Yeah.
Those are two, like, really good draft classes.
But, we have more fits to get to. We do.
Oh yeah, I have one in mind. I'm just.
This is another one of my favorite. I love the spiders. Like, I love the concept of this. Like, they're pretty basic suits, but I love the concept. That's what I love the most.
Yeah, I like the twins a lot so far. Like, I knew about them because me and my dad are pretty into OTE, but like, they're pretty cool dudes, man. They know ball. I have friends that have gotten to interview them. They seem like really just cool dudes. I don't know about it. So a man is like this. Apparently, is this like a basketball nerd? Yeah, I saw they were like, who was drafted higher, and it was between like a bunch of players. He got like all but one right. Yeah.
And then one was like crazy. Kyle Lowry. It was something like that.
Yeah, it was Kyle Lowry and
Jordan Poole.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, but they mind the fits there. I love pink. I'm a sucker for pink suits. So.
Yeah, I think RJ wore pink on draft night. I really like that.
Kai Jones, one of my favorite draft picks ever. He wore a Bahamas suit that was pink. I really liked it. And I like this one a lot because of the message. It's like about the neighborhood that Kassan Wallace grew up in.
That's not, like, aside from the message, like, on paper, that's pretty good suit. Oh, I just saw the name. Yeah. I just saw the name of the next suit. Just scroll down.
Strong chain, though. Big, a lot of good chains we saw, and now we get to
oh my god,
the fit of all fits.
Come on, man!
It looks so ridiculous.
What was he thinking? Like, in all reality, what was he thinking?
I think he knew he was going to Toronto.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say that it's nice that he got drafted by.
I think it would have been really funny if a team picked him before Toronto, and he has to wear a green hat or something.
That's kind of how I felt with the Brandon Miller suit. Like, it's a fine suit, but especially when you have like the Charlotte Hornets hat color combined with the red.
I think Miller thought he was going to Portland.
He probably should have.
Oh, we'll talk about
that. I can't get over it. I was saying it the other day that I really want a card company to throw him a ridiculous bag for this suit, and then they turn pieces of the suit into cards. Like, I would pay so much money for a Grady Dick draft night suit card. Mm-hmm. That would be incredible.
But there are more draft picks, but I do want to say two of my favorites. First is Darius Garland.
I feel like I do remember his, but I don't remember like exactly what it looks like. But I feel like I definitely remember him having a good one. Yeah,
that's strong.
Yeah,
I love that fit. That's a good pick.
Never forget, I thought that he was going to be complete and total garbage after his rookie year, and he's a lot better than RJ Barrett now. And then, that's hard.
That's strong.
I love Kai Jones too.
Yeah, that's a.
Oh my God, that's right. We drafted him, and then we traded him. Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's not.
But there are more 2022 draft picks.
A guy like that. Like who?
NBA draft suits that I want to look at.
Who is that in the purple?
That's Paulo. That's from last year.
Yucky.
But we got the Marcelo Obama fit.
Good lord, man.
I like it though. Like, I think it's just
not
like
bad.
He looks confident in it, and that's what sells it for me.
Yeah, it looks
that's
a little silly, but like
will sell
he
a
makes
draft fit. For me, it's if you're confident wearing it, and he's clearly confident wearing it.
Yeah, like it it's all right.
Yeah,
is that like a cheetah print in the left?
Yeah, Keontae, that's a strong fit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. Personally speaking,
I don't know what Nick Smith Jr. got on right now. It looks like he's wearing a coach's jacket in this picture.
Oh my god.
There's a better picture probably.
Like I like how I can barely
Jed
see
Howard
Grady Dick, but I could just.
Jed Howard got the look at my lawyer dog. I'm going to prison for life fit.
I really wanted Jed Howard to be a Knick. I am so upset that we didn't trade up for him. Him and Taylor Hendricks, I really, really wanted.
Oh my god, the full picture does not make Nick Smith Jr.'s fit look any better.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But yeah, now that we talked about that, I think we should probably also talk about the draft.
What about it? Oh.
Well, Victor Wembanyama went 1, and I, for one, am shocked.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man.
The bet I placed, I cast it.
Oh,
I bet on Victor Wembanyama to go first overall, and I cast that bet. I lost the house, I lost the car, I lost the kids, I lost everything. But
my wife left me. She's gone.
So,
all because I bet on Victor Wembanyama to be the first pick.
It is a good question, though. Like, how long ago would you have had to bet for Victor to go 1?
I don't know, because I feel like once that clip came out, of like him cooking Gobert in a practice, people were like, "Yeah, this dude's gonna be really good," and that was like when everyone started knowing. Obviously, not like draft experts.
And then the Hornets took Brandon Miller that year, which I kind of saw coming. Like, I kind of realized, once Miller, went, so, Miller, really, picked up steam to, the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And I realized that, they're going to see, the 6'9", 200-pound wing. And,
he's
small guy
6'9"?
who struggles to hit, he's 6'9".
Wow.
He struggles to hit threes. Although does have room to grow in that area. I'm saying this to someone that would take Scoot over him. So I kind of saw it coming. Not the worst pick in the world. I don't think this is James Wiseman going second overall. Or
yeah.
I think Miller's going to be a really good player in the NBA.
It's just the way I look at it.
I think we'll look back on this ironically enough, Scoot Henderson's teammate for the time being. We'll look back on it like Bradley Beal going over Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Where it's just Beal's an all-star, has had some really good years, but Damian Lillard is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. It's just
pretty easily, and one of the best scoring point guards of his generation. So I don't hate the pick. Some people do, including the Charlotte Hornets mascot.
Dude, that was so funny. That was so funny. I don't know. It's just, when you're in the situation the Hornets are in, I feel like you kind of almost have to ignore the fit. Because, he is obviously a better fit with LaMelo, but I can't sit here and say that LaMelo and Scoot wouldn't work together. It would be a little funky, but I just don't know.
Charlotte Hornets mascot.
Oh, he definitely
not feeling
put a bet.
The pick.
He definitely put a bet for them to take Scoot after that Shams tweet.
But, so we get the pick.
Oh, terrible. I don't know.
I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah, I don't
biggest day of your life, and everyone's like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I don't like slandering, especially young players coming into the draft. I do disagree with the Hornets taking him, but at the end of the day, I do think Brandon Miller is going to be a great player. I just
also the context of this tweet. I want to talk about this for a sec.
I
don't like playing my career because I don't want to live the real life, the virtual version of what Brandon Miller was probably going through right now.
Oh, you don't want to make beats and music with Jermaine Cole? And I don't even know any of the other rappers they have. I think the game's in it. They had
last year.
They had one rapper in it this year that I hadn't heard of, and then I was listening to J. Cole and he was a feature. I was like, oh, I thought it was just a fake person they put in 2K just to have a rapper. But yeah, my career stinks.
So I go. I did like the draft after I get picked by the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm a combo guard type. They have Scoot Henderson on the roster. I'm the 2 guard. Like, we're the backcourt of the future.
Got it.
And they signed Nikola Vucevic.
Oof.
Mind you,
Yucky.
we already have Mo Bamba on the team. Now, Mo Bamba isn't like a great player in real life. He's an incredible player to have in 2K.
I love using him in 2K, man.
Yeah.
He's so much
But,
fun.
So, we're set at center.
Yeah.
And now Nikola Vucevic is starting over Mo Bamba. He went 3 for 15 against Isaiah Hartenstein from the field.
Hey, man, that's a dog. Isaiah Hartenstein is a dog.
Oregon's finest. Isaiah Hartenstein.
I thought he was German.
No, he's from Oregon.
Oh. I think there are so many things with NBA players that I'm just flat out wrong about. Like, I've been getting dogged on this, me thinking that Miles and Mikal Bridges were brothers for the last, basically since they were drafted.
Yeah, I can't believe you thought that one.
Listen,
I don't know.
I just look at it. Their last name are both Bridges, and they were both selected in the same year.
They also
when I look at that, I go, they're brothers.
Completely different draft tables.
Dude, I don't remember the 2018 NBA draft. I don't remember what I did 2 hours ago. I don't remember things.
Okay.
I also, I learned this a while ago, but the Bojan and Bogdan Bogdanovic, I thought they were brothers for a while, but that I learned that they weren't in 2019.
But
yeah.
Back to the draft though. The Blazers got Scoot Henderson at 3. And now Dame is not in a good mood. Per sources.
Yeah, I saw he
I'm also
was
hearing per sources that he wants to stay. And I'm also hearing per sources that he wants to leave. I don't know what to believe at this point.
Offseason, though. I don't know.
This is the 15th offseason of this.
I saw that his agent, and the front office were meeting today, and that basically tells me he's gonna be like, either you trade Scoot for a star or I am out of here. And it's probably, if I'm the Blazers, I'd say
I would trade Dame. They might side with Dame. He's been there.
I could see it, but I'd hope that they're smart enough to know that what they're trying to do right now is just not going to work, and they need to just.
Anyways, Scoot Henderson will be a Boston Celtic when we trade Jaylen Brown for him.
Good gravy.
It's wonderful. The Rockets. First, I want to talk about this before I talk about the Rockets. Amanda and Asar going back to back is awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I mean, I saw some people were a little surprised with Alsar going that high. I mean, I didn't know too much about him. I knew obviously.
I didn't have him going that high. We'll talk about the players soon that I actually thought they should have taken at 5.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome. I think it's always worthy of the fifth pick. I always thought that.
Yeah.
He's not the playmaker a man is. A man is primary creation upside, things like that.
Yep.
We're the connector type, but I think they're both worth it. Both would have got paid. It'll be interesting to see his fit with the Pistons.
He's a small forward
with Ivy. Yeah, they're 6'7".
I thought they were both guards, but I mean, that shows how much I know.
They can play 2-3, things like that.
Okay.
A man 1 through 3, 2 through 3, some 4, depending on the lineups. But we gotta talk about Houston's draft. So they get Amen Thompson at 40.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 20 rolls around.
Oh,
and
didn't
Cam
they get
Whitmore is still on the board. I'll put this into perspective for you. Cam Whitmore, Amen Thompson was my number 3 player in this class. It was close between him. Him and Miller were 3-4, basically 3A, 3B.
Yep.
Cam Whitmore was my number 5 player in this class. And it's but I also understand, I'm just a guy on the internet.
Yeah.
Not my opinion, my word is no, what I put on my big board is not the law. Yeah. He was top 10 on Kevin O'Connor's board, which we don't need to get into it. But
I was gonna say, I don't know if
he was number 4 on. He was number 4 on Zay Billis's board.
Yep.
I know multiple people that had him like at least top 10.
Yeah.
He falls to pick 20. Now, why did he fall to pick 20? Well, he has like medical issues with his knees right now, which caused him to slide a little bit. And also, there was some quote-unquote character concerns. I can't fully speak on that. From what I've heard, it's kind of overblown.
Yeah, I heard that he might have had like a vape at a workout, which like, okay, like it's definitely not the most ideal, but like at the end of the day, like I don't see why that would be something that would make him fall that far.
So, but I do think the combination of the medicals and that.
Oh yeah, they.
What I've heard though, he's just a quiet kid, which is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But again, like, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. Like I understand you have like concerns about the medicals if you drop him from like this range to like this range, but not this range. So, like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it doesn't really matter. Like, it's a value pick at that point. It's pick 20.
That's like, I'm trying to think of a comparison.
It's like, they probably were considering him at pick 4.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me. So. But
one pick though that I didn't really understand and still kind of don't is the Magic taking Anthony Black, only for the fact that they have like 5 point guards.
So here's the thing, I think that says a lot about the writing on the wall with Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, he's out of there
because they drafted a player that does like everything Jalen Suggs does and is also 6'6".
Yeah. Because the thing with Suggs is like he's weird. He sometimes is really good, and sometimes he's really, really bad. So like I feel like he's just not a very natural fit at shooting guard, especially considering that I don't think he's a very good shooter.
I mean, Fultz is their point guard, so.
Oh, Fultz is the future. He's been the future.
But you know, if they think like Anthony Black is someone that kind of compares to Josh Giddey a little bit. Ironically, goes in the same exact draft slot that Giddey went 2 years ago now. So if he could be like your Josh Giddey, like that's a good pick for them.
Oh yeah.
Then Bilal Coulibaly goes 7.
I remember
to the Pacers and then gets traded to Washington. He had a promise in the lottery. I don't know what team it was for. But I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet it was the Wizards.
My thing with that is
because he was the only team that they worked out for because he was in the overseas in that playoff series. So he only had time for one workout, and they picked the Wizards.
Yeah,
they promised. They traded. Then Jarvis Walker goes 8. I thought Jarvis Walker should have been the pick at 6, personally.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
In my opinion, the best defender in this class, not named Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And then the Jazz took Taylor Hendricks, and I love Taylor Hendricks. I think he's going to be a really good player for them. I don't know what the situation is with John Collins being there now, but I mean, Taylor Hendricks will probably come off the bench to start the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if like 20 games in they bench Collins for him, depending on how he plays, obviously. And then we have Gaston Wallace going 10 to the Mavericks, then getting traded to OKC. Wasn't a happy camper at first, and I understand why, because he thought he was going to his hometown team.
Yeah, he was like, I think he said he was like fine in Oklahoma City. He was saying how there was like nothing to do. Like, that's not the most ideal thing to say in your like opening press conference.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's the best one-and-done guard defender I've evaluated. If you know anything about like my draft stuff, you probably would know. Like, I was like absurdly high on Tyrese Maxey. I thought he was the 4th best player in the draft. That's kind of being proven true now.
Yeah, I mean that whole draft class is kind of
I think that Kassan Wallace is a better prospect than Maxey was. He projects to be like a Drew Holiday type defender to an extent. He doesn't have like the lateral like foot speed to handle like guys like John Morant, but honestly, Drew Holiday doesn't really. He does a good job at it, but like those quick, sifty guards, you know, like he uses his strength more than his like lateral quickness, and he's a good lateral mover, but you know, not the greatest lateral mover. Kevin Porter Jr. kind of like cooked him one time. Like 50 and 11, like the most random 50-point double in NBA.
He has been riding off of that game for the last ever since he had it.
Has he though? Like he never. You can't get a guaranteed contract off a game like that. Like
I don't know. I just don't think he's a good fit at point guard. I don't know why he's a point guard. I don't know what. Well, I know what NBA team decided that would be a good idea, and it's not a good NBA team. But
then we get Jet Howard at 11. That told me that like Grady Dick had like had knee concerns.
Yeah.
But I like Jet Howard a lot. I had a lot of regret on him. He's a 6'8" wing that can create somewhat create, but like off ball shooting, pull up mid range stuff.
Yeah, I just think his offense fits with literally like any team in the NBA.
I think at his best he could be a Desmond Bain type play.
Yeah.
Only time will tell with that. Derek Lively going to Dallas. I love that pick for them. They need a rim protector.
Yes, they very badly need a big man.
They get, in my opinion, the best non-Victor Wembanyama rim defender in the class. Like a truly special rim protector. Number one player coming out of high school.
Really?
ESPN had him number one or number two. But he was like consensus like top 3 player in this class coming out of high school. Had a slow start because of injuries, but down the stretch looked really good. Needs to look at his offense, but like he has some encouraging shooting touch in the form.
Yeah.
And then speaking of shooting touch, we get to the Dick Dog.
As Fat Joe would say, I love that dick down in Kansas. Yes, Kansas. I thought it was Kentucky for a second. I always mix those two schools up.
His name is Grady Reed Dick. Oh, speaking of, before we talk more, I want to tell you something.
Oh boy. This should be interesting.
Look at their real names.
Huh? How do you pronounce that?
Excellence.
Oh. I mean, that's actually really cool, but
That's actually really cool, but I saw it at first, like, wait, what?
Yeah, I really... Wow, I'm like, I don't want to say like I'm taken aback, but like, that's actually really cool. I've never seen that before, like, with a middle name. Wow.
But Grady Dick's a really good shooter, but he does a bit more than that. He can attack closeouts. He's a solid passer. Defensively, he needs a lot of work.
Yes.
He needs a ton of work on defense. Like his screen navigation's just not good.
Yeah.
The one pick I didn't really like in the lottery was Jordan Hawkins to the Pelicans. I thought they should have just taken Cam Whitmore, because I have Cam Whitmore way higher in my board, even with the medical concerns, than Jordan Hawkins. Hawkins is a really good shooter, but he's not the tallest guy in the world. He's 6'5", but like he's a real. I thought he was like worth the first round pick, but like a tad high, especially with the names on the board.
I just think that they saw like, oh, we need a shooter for Zion, so let's just pick this guy up because he's probably at that point
funny.
the best shooter.
They compared him
available
to every UConn player, like ever on the broadcast. Like, oh, he's like Ray Allen. He's
Ray Allen with a dash of Kemba Walker.
Okay, they had Jeremy. He's like Rep Hamilton.
I was just gonna say he's Richard Hamilton with a dash of a Mecca Okafor.
And then like Jeremy Lamb. Like, I don't mind a Jeremy Lamb one.
Yeah.
That feels realistic enough. Then we got Kobe Buffkin.
I did not know much about him going into this. I'm not gonna lie.
He's kind of like a maxi. He's another one in the long line of the Bones Highland, Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickly family.
Nice.
Keontae George at 16, love that pick. I thought he could have gone lottery.
Yeah.
One of the most talented scorers in the draft. Not that efficient, but like a better passer and defender than given credit for. He's a big physical guard. Jalen Hęrtźøg. This was like the part I was worried about. I was worried Cam Whitmore was going to go to.
Oh man, that would. I would have taken him if I was the Lakers.
Or the Heat.
I would have taken
Jalen Hęrtźøg. I think a good pick. I think it's. If they don't want to match like anything Austin Reeves does.
He's a good defender, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
He's a solid. He's a good point of attack defender.
Okay.
But he's a good passer, decent scorer. He could fill the role that Austin Reeves has if Austin Reeves doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And then you got Jaime Jaquez. A pick I do not like.
Yeah,
for two reasons. One, because
nothing.
I think it's a major read. I thought Jaime Jaquez was a second-round talent.
Yep.
Two, because he's going to make my life a living hell as a Celtics fan. I just fucking know it.
Oh, yeah, especially if he got drafted anywhere else, he'd be terrible. But now he's going to go to the Heat and dog the Celtics. 10 threes a game. 10 made threes a game against Boston for the next decade. I feel like Boston's the one team that get dogged on by random role players the most. Like, I remember like a year ago or two, Evan Fournier was just terrible all season long and then would go insane against Boston.
Anyways. Don't worry about that. We got Brandon Posmensky, AirPods, but fire nickname.
I knew nothing about him. I literally when the Warriors drafted him, I said who?
He's kind of what they need now that Jordan Poole's gone and Chris Paul is there.
Yeah.
Which no Warriors fan I know likes. Because I think every Warriors fan it's an obligation as a Warriors fan to hate Chris Paul. Which that's fine. I hate Chris Paul as well. So
I have an autographed picture of his literally above my monitor. And I mean, I don't know. I've enjoyed watching Chris Paul. I completely and entirely understand why people don't like him, but personally, like, I just grew up watching him.
Yeah, because he's the feds.
That's why. He gives off big cop energy.
Mm-hmm. Has the aura of a police officer. But we talked about Cam Whitmore already. I really like what the Nets did. Noah Clowney and Derek Whitehead.
I really like the Derek Whitehead pick.
Noah Clowney is like a high upside defensive player that has some perimeter upside as well. If Derek Whitehead can get back to like what he was athletically prior to college, he will return like top 5 to 10 value in this class.
Yeah.
Going into this year, I had him as my number 3 prospect in this class. I had him over the Thompson twins. I had him over Cam Whitmore and Brandon Miller, like all of those guys. Like I thought he was gonna be. He was incredible in high school.
Yeah.
One of the most accomplished high school players like of the last 10 years. And I really like this pick because it's a perfect situation.
Oh yeah. Because he's gonna get a lot of touch.
The thing is, prior to the injuries before his freshman year, he was like a shot creator, a slasher, like a really good athlete, like a very explosive one at that. But even after the injuries, he's still like, okay, I can hit spot-up shots. I can move off the ball. I can do pull-up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think he would have gone in, the late lottery, mid-first round, mid-teens range, if he didn't have the foot surgery. And I understand the foot surgery caused him to fall. I don't know if he'll ever get back to what he was athletically before the injuries.
We'll see.
But we'll see. If he does, we're going to look back how did he fall to pick number 22? Yep.
It's like every team with Draymond Green. How did he fall to 36, I think?
Oh, man. Episode 1. How many
what?
minutes are we in? We made it 43 minutes before you brought him up.
Draymond? Oh, yeah. Because I'm a Draymond fan. Now I'm getting hate for it. That's like I always do.
That's one way to put it.
Man. Listen, I could have put his jersey up there, but no, I went with Shaq and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Do you have a Ruben Boomsay jersey?
Dude, I need to get one. But here's my thing. There's none. There are no Ruben Boomshay NBA jerseys.
I'm shocked. I thought there would be a big market on those.
So what I want to do is I want to go to like DHgate or something and get a custom one. But I don't know if I can trust a company that like is very hit or miss to spell Boomshay twice properly. I don't know if I can trust that. But maybe I will one day. I don't know.
Anyways, I believe Ruben Boomsay played for this team. Did he play for Portland?
Yeah, that would be the jersey I get of him. That was like the only team he played for.
Right. They did the most evil thing in the draft when Chris Murray
so
wanted
funny.
to pick for the Sacramento
I was telling my
Kings.
dad about that. That was so funny.
So,
oh man,
the Kings ended up trading the pick for Rashawn Holmes. The pick and Rashawn Holmes, I believe, to free up money.
For what? Oh! If you read the report, it's to sign Draymond Green. Didn't you hear? Because that's what everyone on that team wants after what he did in the playoffs. They want to play with him. Like, imagine being DeMontis Sabonis, and the general manager goes, "Yo, we just signed Draymond Green."
Yeah, the guy that went full
the dude that did
on your ribs.
Yeah. Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know who came up with that report, but come on, man.
But,
read the room.
I don't know much about Olivia Maxence Crosby.
Who?
Omax, the pick that was made at 24.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know much about him. I didn't do too much draft work this year. I scouted the guys I scouted, but didn't do too much. Marcus Sasser, pick 25. Originally held by the Grizzlies. Unfortunately, that pick got traded to Boston. We're not going to get into it. And then Boston, then Brad Stevens said, I'm going to do some trolling. So, Marcus Sasser would have been a great pick for Boston. He's a ball handler. He could have replaced Marcus. I feel sick saying that.
Replace Marcus Smart with another Marcus S.
Yeah. He could have been nice. Then, so we trade the pick down. Then we trade the pick 31. I'm like, okay, we're finally going to make a pick. There are a lot of good options on the board. Like, I'm like, thanks. I would have loved Leonard Miller.
Yeah.
I love Leonard Miller. I think he's going to be a real good NBA player. Nah, we're going to trade the pick again. Then we trade on the 34. And I'm like, oh, they're taking Colby Jones. I love Colby Jones. I would have taken Colby Jones at pick 25.
Yeah.
I thought, like, he's a do-it-all wing. He can shoot it a little bit. He can pass. He can defend. Like, this is like a consummate role player that could have played right away. Like, yes, we got a good player. Then he trades again.
Oh, man. That's no good.
And we finally ended up with Jordan Walls. And I'm happy we ended up with him, because I love Jordan Walls.
Yeah.
He's literally a jump shot away from being a rotation player in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good defender, good passer, really good athlete. Love the pick.
My question here, scroll back up a little bit. This is going to be like a very Miles Mikal Bridges thing. But are James and Najee and Zeke and Najee brothers?
No.
What?
No. There is another Najee. I know Zeke Najee has a brother, though.
Okay, so there is a brother.
I'm going to tell you that.
That's great. I hate that they're not brothers, because I was thinking that would be pretty cool, but I guess not. At least I don't have to wait 5 years to find out they aren't like Miles and Mikal.
No, and I his sister is actually like she's like a top recruit in her own right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just wanted to get that man out of the way. I know nothing about Ben Shepherd at all. I know a little bit about Omax. I know nothing about Ben Shepherd.
Me either.
So.
I mean, that's not saying much because I'm not as into the NBA draft, but.
And then we got 3 picks in a row I really liked. Nick Smith Jr. Like he was my number 6 player going into the year. Like Tariq Whitehead. suffered with injuries. The reason he went even lower than Derek is like Derek was like, okay, it's clearly the injuries affecting him, and yes, injuries were affecting Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith Jr. could not finish at the basket at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he had a good floater game, good shooting touch, good passer, things like that. Cannot finish to save his life.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Cam Whitmore, I believe Bryce Sensabaugh would be the steal of the draft. At pick 28. Here's the elevator pitch on Bryce Sensabaugh.
All right.
Imagine the mindset of Cam Thomas, but he likes to pass a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
He's
so
a
you
good
have like a
three-point
good
shooter,
player.
and he's built like Grant Williams.
Just hearing the name Grant Williams makes me chuckle at this point, man.
Like, he's basically a bigger, better version of Cam Thomas.
I mean,
and also, I'll pull up his stats.
That's a good. I was gonna say that's a good player because Cam Thomas is
a
certified hooper.
Freshman year, 16.3
wow.
points, 5.3 rebounds, 48, 40.5,
Really efficient too. Oh my
83.
gosh. Yeah. That's
so
really
like he's more efficient, like bigger Cam Thomas, which is better Cam Thomas. Julian Stroud was just gonna be a real good role player for them in Denver. Denver's. I don't see a team beating Denver in the playoffs.
No, not at all.
I think they could rattle off a 3-peat. I'm not kidding.
Yep.
I just don't think any team is close to them right now.
Yeah, because I mean, any team it's just no one can stop Jokic, man.
They added Julian Strawberry. They added Jalen Pickett. Like two guys that can play. They can play right away.
Is he related to Kenny Pickett?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Just utter silence. Damn. Wait, he went to Siena? Wait. Are you telling me that Denver got a hooper at a... Oh, we went to Penn State. That's so cool that he went to Siena, though. That's like 40 minutes from my house. That's awesome. Nice. Good for him.
But I love the Leonard Miller pick. I actually like Kobe Jones for the second. I would have loved him for Boston. But yeah. Julian Phillips is a funny player. He's going to Chicago. Very funny player. Because he's not good at a lot of things, but he's a really good athlete. And for some weird reason, he is incredible at getting to the rim and drawing contact. It's like the one thing he can do.
I can't.
And he's also young. He's young and athletic. I think it's a good swing in the second round.
Yeah.
Andre Jackson, I think he could contribute right away from Milwaukee. He's a really good athlete. He's a really good defender. Really good passer.
Yeah.
Hunter Tyson, shout out our friend, not Zay22.
Oh yeah, wasn't he like randomly texting people Hunter Tyson out of like just for no reason?
4 weeks he was just typing that, sending us that. So they got him. But some of those, Maxwell Lewis, I thought that was a good pick at 40. I thought he could have gone first round. Amari Bailey at pick 41. Thought he could have gone first round. Ryan Rupert, thought he could have gone first round. Sidy Cissoko is the steal of the second round in my opinion, because I had a first round grade on him.
I saw a lot of people saying that about G.G. Jackson too.
I don't know, Jim.
I mean, from what I've heard, he's a
first round pure talent.
Yeah.
The problem is he has no idea how to play 5v5 basketball. Like he's just never been in a setting like that, where like the college setting like didn't really benefit like any sort of development for him.
I see, says the blind man.
Amani Bates.
Yeah, shout out to Amani. I'm glad he got drafted.
Yeah, I'm glad he got drafted as well. He's been through a lot of it, and a lot of it is not his fault.
Yeah. Didn't Keontae Johnson like die? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yes, there's something else about him.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. Nah, I don't think we should.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, but
I like the Isaiah Wong pick. That was a good pickup by Indiana at 55. Funniest pick of the draft, Chris Livingston. He cut off all his workouts because he said, I have a promise from a team.
Oh,
They say they're
no.
gonna pick me. And I'm like, did the Bucks?
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, thinking to myself, I'm like, did the Bucks
I had no
promise to
idea.
pick him with the last pick?
That poor dude.
In the draft, I'm like, they gave us a showing up. Like, I hope they pick me at pick 58. Like, that's what they said. They said, if you're on the board at 58, we're gonna pick you. So,
Didn't Philly lose their second round pick for tampering with like PJ Tucker?
Mhm.
That's hilarious.
but yeah, that's the future. This is the future of the NBA right here.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys are going to be for use. Hopefully, they all end up better than Anthony Bennett.
No, that's not going to take much. I'll tell you that much.
No,
Not much at all. They could play an NBA game and they will probably be better than Anthony Bennett was.
So, we're gonna look at Anthony Bennett's stats.
Oh, just look at him. Wasn't he working out with a team like last year or the year
I don't
before?
So
feel like I remember
he's the
that.
first overall pick. Nobody believed in him. Like, off rip, nobody
He didn't even
believed
believe in himself.
And the funniest clip of all time. Shane Battier, he's doing the draft coverage. He's interviewing the prospects. Anthony Bennett goes one. He puts the mic up and he goes, Anthony. He goes, Kareem. He goes, Jabbar, Magic, LeBron, Bennett.
Oh,
Anthony Bennett's just looking at him like, man, I do not have it like that.
I am not that guy.
No.
Oh man, he was bad.
So,
Didn't he go like his
gets
first like
him-
however many games without scoring a
Yeah, we
point,
can look that up.
or at least hitting a shot? He might have gotten free throws off.
Mm-hmm. No, I do not want to.
I keep seeing that, and I don't even know the difference between. Oh my goodness gracious!
First 7 NBA games. This is the number 1
Dude.
overall pick.
He didn't even
And
average
the
a
people-
point. Do you know how hard that is?
I mean, Ben Simmons.
Like Ron Baker put up better numbers than this with the Knicks. Ron Baker,
0.7 points per game. I don't even know what code it is.
4% from the field.
4.8% from the field. I want to know what his
Come
true shooting
on.
percentage was.
Oh my goodness!
I can look it up because you know what there is.
What?
There's a true shooting percentage calculator.
Oh my goodness gracious! This is gonna be
You can
incredible.
look this up. Shout out to Captain Calculator.
Does
for having
true
this.
shooting go into the negatives?
I want to see. I know he can go over 100. Cause I think it was like his 3rd NBA season. Like Trae Young was like, through like the first like 8 games had like a true shooting percentage over 100 or something.
I do. I remember that.
0.7.
Big yawn.
3.
God, these numbers are just awful to look at, but so funny at the same time.
0.6. He had a true shooting percentage of 10.7%.
Oh man, what? Because isn't it like everything like field goal, 3-point, free throw?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad because his free throw wasn't good, but it was like at least 50%. That's how bad his other numbers were holding him down.
Hey, also he was active. In the
Yeah,
steals.
he was-
0.9 steals.
He was on the floor.
Could you imagine your team just picks this guy number 1 overall and this is what he does? I would have ended up on the news.
Yeah, no, that is really bad. But at least they drafted. They made some good picks before that, at least.
Yeah, Dion Waiters.
Oh,
Best shooting guard of all time.
there is a universe where he is like God. I fully believe that. How many games of like, he only had 6 games of 10 through 19 points. He did not score 20 points once. That's crazy. Like, that's
But-
bad, man.
And then you all get the rest of it. He flamed out quick.
Yeah, he was, 4 years in the league, something like that?
Yeah. So he ended up in Minnesota.
Oh.
He showed some marginal improvement. You know, the points go up to 5.2. Rebounds
Yeah.
go up to 3.8. Assists go up to
there was
0.8.
improvements.
Steals go up. Blocks go up. Turnovers go down. Field goal
And then
percentage
there's
goes up.
2015.
3-point percentage goes up. Free throw percentage goes up.
He was just
He
a
was
better
on the up and
player.
up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, my youth, if you're on the Brooklyn Nets in 2017, like 2015 to 2019,
Yeah.
if you were on the Brooklyn Nets as a rotation player, this was your last chance.
Yeah, I mean Trevor Booker was like a solid like third or fourth option for a couple of years, and I love
Spencer Dinwiddie was their franchise player.
Oh,
Their big
that was
three
bad.
was Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell, who was actually pretty good for them. D'Angelo Russell had a good year for them.
Yeah, I was able to witness Prime D'Lo live, and he wasn't very good in the game that I went to, but yeah.
Right? And Karis LeVert, that was their building. Those are the building blocks.
Dude, I thought Karis LeVert.
If
was
you
gonna be
cannot
so
cut
good.
it on the Brooklyn Nets during that era, you were done. It's over. And he hasn't really been able to cut it anywhere else. But yeah, that was the Anthony Bennett section.
Hold on, look.
Video.
In 2015, he shot 90% from the free throw line. Don't look at anything else about like attempts or made. Just look at the number.
If you combine his makes and his misses, that number comes to 1.
That is true.
If you
That is very
combine his field goal percentage, 2-point percentage, 3-point percentage, and 3-point percentage, you might get a league average play.
Ooh. That is true.
You know what the worst part about this is? His per 36 numbers weren't even good either.
No. Because he was already
That's
getting like
sad
a decent
part.
amount of minutes, yeah.
It's not like,
Oh my goodness.
he didn't play that much. No, he just wasn't very good.
Yeah, like his last season in the NBA, like his per 36 are like what RJ averaged last year. Like that's not good. Good gravy, man.
Per 100 possession numbers aren't much better.
I mean, he's got to be the worst first overall pick. Like Kwame is bad, but at least he had like a 10-year career. I mean,
Speaking of number 1 overall picks, apparently Paulo's already making superstar moves.
yeah, he's on his like Kevin Durant arc. Didn't he say he was gonna like play for the Italian team, and now he's playing for USA? I saw a really funny quote. I don't know if it was true, but I think the Italian coach came out and was like, "We were fooled." Like, reminds me of the Shaq. Like, you cannot fool me. I'm familiar with your game. He was not familiar with Paulo's game, apparently. But
Which is
that's
funny
really
because
funny.
like he said, I want to play for the national team. I want to do like a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
Alright, so here's the quote. He could have made a call to communicate that to us. Instead, we learned about his decision from the newspaper. In the past few days, he was in Milan, and despite our agreements with his agency, he avoided the meeting with Coach. I'm not going to try to pronounce that out of respect.
Pizzeco.
Pizzeco.
He
He fooled
it's
us.
Pizzeco.
He fooled us.
That's
Superstar moves, you too. Calling it
Yeah.
right now. He's going to average 27 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game on decent shooting splits, and make the All-Star team.
That sucks too, because I can't think of many like great Italian players that would be on.
Well,
Like,
he's technically Italian.
yeah, I mean like
I think he has citizenship though, and I think his dad's Italian, but he's from Seattle.
that's like Hartenstein.
It's like it's not like it's like in a weird way. It's like Demonis Sabonis is like, yes, he's technically an international player, but he was also born in Oregon.
yeah.
Same with Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is like technically a French player. I mean, like he is French. He is French blood, and same with Sabonis. I forget where Sabonis is from, off the top of my head. But like Killian Hayes was born in Florida.
Yeah.
But
What a silly fella.
here's the true shooting percentage.
For
It's not the right one. It's 0.7.
oh, good gravy.
But yeah, Paulo making superstar
money moves. Yep.
big money moves, big money.
I feel so bad for that Italian team because I can't imagine they have any.
It's
other
scary.
noteworthy
It's
players.
scary. It's scary. Yeah. You don't know. You probably were gassing him up, like, oh, we get Paulo, we're gonna do all these things.
And then he leaves you.
He's like, ah.
Like, I don't know, Jim.
I don't know. Plans. You know what else is scary though?
What?
Orca whales.
I saw something so funny. It was like talking about like just like orca facts that they can like jump 15 feet in the air, and someone said, "Oh God, they're gonna start taking out fighter jets now."
Orca whales are attacking ships.
Good, as they should. Pop off. Same with sharks. Like I remember, like a tiger shark killed someone, and like the whole country went after it to kill it. It's like it's not that deep, man.
They went out to like marry the elephant.
Oh my! Stop! Actually, I don't know if you could put that picture on the screen.
No, I seen other people do it, so we can do it if we want. If we want to.
Put the picture on the. Let me see that elephant hanging. Oh my God! I forgot. Dude, I completely forgot about this. Oh no! Oh my goodness! It's so terrible, but it's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude, we need to like how Connor, whenever I send a picture, he like photoshops me in it. He needs the one of me holding up the fours in front of the grave. That's what he needs to put me in that picture in front of Mary the elephant. Oh no. Execution. Like what did that elephant do?
Hey, killer whales.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, orca whales are terrifying, man. This is not be a real sentence. Killer whales attacking boats are playing games for adrenaline rush.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Scary stuff, Jim.
I remember when the whole Titanic sub thing was going down. They were like, "Oh, I know what." It was like when they heard the banging noise. It was just a picture of like 5 orcas holding up like maracas and bongos. Like, it's so funny, man. I love orcas. They're such funny animals because they're so
R.I.P.
smart.
my dog.
Man.
R.I.P. big homie Samu.
Shamu.
Fuck 2020. 2020 said so many lives. We lost Betty. What did Betty White die in 2020?
No, that was 20. I don't know, but all I remember about Betty White is like 2
fuck
weeks.
Whatever that year was. Well, R.I.P. my dog Betty White. So.
2 weeks before Betty White died, I was in the store with my mom, and she was like, "Oh, Betty White is turning 100 soon." I'm like, "She ain't making it to 100, dog." And then she died. I felt so bad. It was just in the most joking manner possible. And then 2 weeks later, like a couple of days before she's supposed to turn 100, she just drops.
Father Time said, "I'm leaving here with something."
Oh my God.
Shout out Betty White.
R.I.P. my dog.
We are now going to go to the last section of this podcast.
Oh boy.
We can stop sharing the screen now.
Alrighty. Hit me with it.
We're going to do a draft. 5 picks each.
Okay.
And we're going to go over our favorite draft moments. There could be really fun draft moments, really bad ones, just funny ones.
Okay. I can work with that.
NBA draft. We get at the NFL draft as well.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm more familiar with NFL draft ones and NBA. Okay.
All right. Do you want the first pick or the second pick?
No, you got first.
All right. First pick. If we're going to NFL, right? I'm taking Laremy Tunsil in this draft haul.
Dude, I remember when that happened. That was so awful. For Laremy Tunsil, because he should have gone way higher. Oh, man.
You have Mike Mayock on the broadcast just ripping into him.
Like, it's stupid. It's a stupid picture, but at the same time,
it's a very funny picture.
It's very funny, too. I also like how people, whenever they want a prospect to fall, they go like, "Oh, no,
Oh, I did that with
insert
Scoot.
player name. What are you
like,
doing?
Oh, no, Scoot Henderson, no!
Oh my god. Is that a Confederate flag in the background?
I mean, he's from Alabama.
Laramie!
He's from
No!
He's from Mississippi.
Come on, man!
I think that was just an every house they had.
Good gravy.
But I am taking... That's because he filled at 13. The most consequential and impactful gas mask video of all time.
So if I'm up number 2,
No,
I
because
think...
I want to explain
okay.
why that first.
Okay, alright.
Because him falling at 13 means the Dolphins get him. My Miami Dolphins get him.
Yep.
So we get him, and then, he wants to get traded. He's like the way the franchise is heading. We're tanking.
Oh, I remember. I know.
So we trade him to the Texans for a few. I think it was like 2 first-round picks, which makes
Yeah.
sense. He's arguably the best tackle in football. He's top
tackle.
3.
Top 3, top 5.
He's arguably the best left tackle in football. And I don't think it would be a debate if he didn't have the holding problem, which is kind of a big problem. But he's so good that it doesn't matter.
That kind of is a problem.
Which is kind of wild that he can have a holding problem and still be like all-pro tackle in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which really speaks how good he is. First of all, I was already mad that they traded him because we were taking a quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
I was also mad because we failed to tank correctly. I wanted Joe Burrow. Like I was so sold on him.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Fitzpatrick had to win us like the last 3 games of the season, including
It's magic, baby.
the final game of the season, where we would have been in striking because we had a pick. We probably would have got pick 3. We had pick 18 and pick 26 or what was that? So if we were in pick 3, we could have packaged all those picks and moved up to Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Now we're facing off against Tom Brady's Patriots.
Oh,
We
man,
have
I know
Ryan
where this is
Fitzpatrick.
going already.
The Dolphins won that game.
Kenyon Drake, baby.
No, that was the year.
That was it
before.
for year? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was different. No, because we got our doors blown off that year against New England. That was like the one game Antonio Brown played for them. I remember it very vividly. But so we ended up at pick 5. Now going into I wanted to because we had no idea Burrow would be what we didn't realize Joe Burrow was like one of the best quarterback prospects in the last 20 years at that point. Going into the year. So it was tank for Tua. So we did it up with Tua. Kinda.
What's left of his brain, at least.
Yeah. But the next year, the Texans are terrible. And shout out to Ryan Tannehill. Because we got the last game of the season. The Texans win this game, they get the 7th pick. If they lose this game,
oh my God, yes.
they get they're slated to pick 3, and that pick goes to Miami.
Yep.
Ryan
I
Tannehill
remember.
they were down 1. There was an absolute dime to AJ Brown to put him in field goal range to win that game. So we're getting up pick 3. We trade down and trade back up to get Jalen Waddle. Good pick. But that would none of what I just talked about would happen
Without
that
Larry
gas
Tunsil.
mask video.
Yep.
Now, granted, that 2020 draft pisses me off so much because that was an awful draft. We took Tua over Herbert, and I love Tua.
Yeah.
Herbert would have been the right pick. We
that
took
the year
Austin
we took-
Jackson over Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that was bad. I do remember.
And I love Justin Jefferson. I never understood why people didn't like him.
Yeah.
I didn't think... I liked CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy more than... And another wide receiver we will not name. Per se. But I thought Justin Jefferson was worthy of
Oh my God. Yep, I just realized what you're talking about. Never mind.
But I wanted Justin Jefferson, and then they took Noah Ekmanogamy, he's been okay. I don't think he's been awful, but my thing was always why not take like I always believe like you should build a team around a QB unless like it's a clearly special QB prospect. I thought Tua was a good prospect. Like he wasn't like Bryce Young. He wasn't like Bryce Young. I don't think he was as good of a prospect as C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
But I would you build a team and then get the quarterback. Like I would have much rather like we took like Penei Sewell. Not Penei Sewell. It wasn't in that draft. Like we took like Tristan Wirfs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or Hęrtźøg Whales, and then took like Justin Jefferson, and we got I believe we got Javon Holland in that draft or the draft after that. But like, it built a team up, and then took like Justin Fields next year. I would have much rather they did that. I wanted them to take Justin Fields at pick 3 when we got pick 3. Like I love Fields that much. But yes, all of this rant would not be possible if Laramie Tunsil did not like smoking weed. Shout out to Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah. For my second pick, I think I'm gonna have to go with when Mac Jones did a very like silly walk when he got drafted to the Patriots. That was really funny. That's like there aren't many like funny draft moments I can think of off the top of my head, but like recent years, that's probably the funniest one I can think of.
I know Mac Jones had some old bad tweets. From what I've heard, like that was like.
I do not like Mac Jones at all.
No, I feel it's like all the NFL players don't love Mac Jones.
I mean, I'm sure they do.
He seems like a cool enough dude. He seems pretty chill. But like, I know he had some old bad tweets, but like, that was like when he was like
so did Josh
16
Allen.
years old.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't want to against Josh Allen either. Like, he was like super young.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it right. I'm not trying to say it makes it right. Like, even if you're young, you shouldn't say stuff like that. But like.
Yeah, but like I'm just not going to hold it against him
none of
now.
us were perfect at 15, 16 years
old.
old.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, so.
Yep.
But I love Mac Jones. He has the funny walk, the funny gritty, the funny
Lord.
stiff arm into the ground by Chandler Jones as he gets run into the end zone.
Dude, that play was so bad because all due respect to, I think it was Jacoby Myers, but like, what on earth are you doing, man?
Dime. That's the fun. If he threw like a worse pass, like the game is probably the end.
Oh yeah, no, it's like if you actually threw a bad pass there, it would have been better. But you actually threw it like, perfectly.
Jacoby Myers, I believe he played quarterback. In
he
college
did.
Or
Yes,
something.
Yeah.
So like he threw that. I'm like that thing was on a rope. I'm like.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm watching my friend. He's a Patriots. And he's like, okay, please be incomplete. It's like, oh no, that's a lateral pass. It will be in live football. And then he sees Chandler Jones running to the end zone. He's like, oh my god, there's no time left. This would seem to win the game. And then he threw the flag graphic up. The flag like. So he's like, thank goodness, we're going to overtime. And then it's like I think they did throw the flag, but I think it was just too funny of a moment. I don't think
yeah.
But I remember Mac Jones just walked. He walked like a principal.
Yes, he walked very silly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's your first pick.
Mm-hmm.
This is my second pick. Let's go with Joel Embiid.
What do you mean?
Joel Embiid on draft night, so he had a foot injury, so he couldn't make a trip to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in LA. So like they had the camera crew like everywhere. I'm surprised more prospects don't do this. Like if they're like big families, like they would want to stay. But I understand you want to be in New York. You got to put that shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to stunt. Flex the change a little bit, but flex the fact that you're about to make like life-changing money.
Yeah.
But, so he's back home. They announced the pick. There's a tape delay. Between like when he hears the pick and when like we hear the pick. So he hears the pick like almost like 30 seconds after we do. So when they cut to him, he's just singing the tune like this. And I can pull a picture up of it. This is the picture of him. Hang on. There he is.
Oh my god.
But it was on tape delay, and like when he heard the pick, he was happy. as he should be. It's like the biggest day of his life.
Yep. Especially the NBA and how much money.
And funny enough about that draft, he was supposed to go number. If it wasn't for the foot injury, he was going number. That's like the biggest like revisionist history thing that bothers me of all time. Like people talk about, Wiggins was like the clear cut number one. He was his generational prospect. Right? I'm like, what's his tape? What's his college tape? He was a really good prospect, but like I would talk about him probably the same way I talked about Brandon Miller. Really good prospect, not like the next like Kobe, or like I can't believe this is an awful, unintentional relation thing. Jason Tatum, Brandon Miller isn't Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
or things like that. But like Embiid was a ridiculous prospect. Like people talk about I don't think people understand if Embiid didn't deal with injuries, like just how like dominant he would have. Like, you think he's dominant now? Like, imagine him, but like with significantly better foot speed, significantly better fluidity as an athlete, and he's a pretty fluid athlete already.
Yeah,
like a faster athlete as well. Like, imagine Serge Ibaka with like the deepest bag on the planet.
Good gravy.
Like that's what Embiid was supposed to be. Now, granted, ended up being a great player. Whether you think his MVP was deserved or not, he, in my opinion, deserved to win it. Like it's the best scoring season by a center we've seen since like Kareem.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We don't have to talk about what happened in the playoffs. Yeah. It's a regular season award. Remember that. Even though the argument for Jokic not winning it was about the postseason, but
he won a championship.
No. Yeah, but the Nuggets lost in moral victories.
Yes.
Yeah. They're actually down 0-8 right now to the Lakers, if you didn't know.
Yes, they can actually win the series in 8 games. Yeah. But for my third pick here, I think I'm going to have to go with, oh my God, I don't know where I got third pick from. I'm going to have to go when Deion Sanders was saying that, like, Detroit couldn't afford him. Here's, like, the exact quote. I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked for so much money that they would have had to put me on layaway. And it's like the picture is like him and like the ridiculously like over-the-top draft fit he had on it, like sitting with a bunch of girls. It was just it's such a funny moment. I love Deion Sanders so much.
Yeah, I like it. Deion's awesome. Where does he rank for you, like among like probably like all-time athletes? Because he has to rank like really high because he played 2 sports at a professional level, and those guys always rank like a cut above like everyone else.
I'd say probably if I had to guess like top 15 off the top of my head, maybe probably top 10. I just can't think of many off the top of my head.
Yeah. I love he went 5. He played for he is he the greatest journeyman of all time?
Who?
Deion Sanders.
Oh, just because he went from team to team to team? Yeah, yes, like, not even close.
My third pick now, we're going to stick with the NFL. Josh Rosen saying that there were 9 mistakes made ahead of him.
So much. I hate him.
9 mistakes. That's what he said. 9 mistakes.
Yep, because I remember
I did not like I did not buy in, and this is just mind you. I say this as like the most casual fans. Like my word means nothing. My QB1 in that class, like as a casual like draft NFL draft, as a casual NFL draft. I think I take NBA stuff seriously, but I casually watch NFL stuff. Like I can identify, that's a good football player or not.
Yeah.
But not like nothing like I can say, like Will Anderson, really good at football.
Yeah.
I did not see it with Josh Rosen.
No, I'm very into football, and I did not like him as a prospect or person going into that year. Like I said,
I didn't mind him as a person.
I'm like, to take him second.
I didn't mind him. I'm like, it is what it is.
I rock with the confidence, but like, come on,
it's like you draft with football in particular. You draft the player. You're not drafting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
He said 9 mistakes were made ahead of him.
I mean, yeah, there's like, that's crazy because there's like 2 bad picks before him. And even then, like.
Also, this is a pretty strong top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Baker, there's no universe where Baker wasn't going first this year, and then Sam Darnold's just bad.
I think there was talk about Sam. Josh Allen going on, which should have been the pick.
I don't know.
And people hated on Josh Allen.
I can
I
understand
remember,
why.
it's ridiculous to compare him to Carson Wentz. Now he's like 10 times the player Carson Wentz has been.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Carson Wentz is awful.
Yeah, but when Sam Darnold has like a significantly better football career than you, like,
It's time to become a family man.
yeah. Which is funny. I say the same thing about Zach Wilson.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
people talk about who was the worst quarterback for the Jets. Was it Sam Darnold or Zach? It's Zach Wilson.
It's not even close because
Like,
Sam Darnold had
Sam
like
Darnold has 2 whole seasons that are better than Zach Wilson's entire career.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, it's like, he's not good, but, like, he at least has shown us things where, like, yeah, this guy
I think
one
Sam
point
would
might have been.
I thought Sam could, because Sam was, I think, like QB2 in that class. I had Lamar. I love Lamar. I never understood, like, from like everyone I talked to, like in high school, that like, and like people like that I knew, because I have family that that's like going to college football and the NFL. And they were like, this guy played in Bobby Petrino's offense. I don't get this idea that he can't play quarterback at the NFL level. He has a pretty good arm, and he's a freak athlete.
Yeah.
But yeah, every pick made of him. Baker Mayfield, not a great pick. But
Not
we do
the
have to
worst
remember,
either.
until now, and unless Nasty Man does something, and if Nasty Man does some great thing on the football field, we will not acknowledge it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But Baker Mayfield, I believe he's the first round starting quarterback to win a playoff game, right?
I mean,
Since they
yeah,
become
since
a
the
team?
merger, yeah.
Since the
Like, since they
merger,
were
yeah.
brought back, yeah.
Since they were brought back. No, he's been a solid.
that's-
I could see Baker.
bad.
I think Baker Mayfield could turn his career around eventually.
I could see, especially with the
Yeah.
Buccaneers.
And he had some good seasons.
Yeah, his
Right?
rookie and second year were
Yeah.
really good, and then it's just after that.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley has been like a top 3 running back when healthy. I think like
Yeah.
McCaffrey is better.
Derrick Henry,
Um,
obviously.
Derrick Henry. I think Bijan has a chance. I think Bijan's gonna light
Yeah.
up the league.
Yeah. He'll be.
We
it'll
talked
be
about Sam
interesting to
Darnold. Not a good pick, but better. Has again multiple individual seasons that are better than Josh Rosen's entire career.
see. Yeah.
Denzel Wood, a top 10 cornerback in football.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pretty good. Bradley Chubb, the health is a concern, but like
He's
pretty good when
solid.
healthy.
He's pretty good.
Quentin
yeah.
Nelson has, I think, of all the players I've named, Quentin Nelson has the best chance to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he had a bit of a down year this year because of like injuries and stuff, but he definitely he's the best player
Three or four
so far.
first team All Pro seasons.
Yeah,
Josh
no,
Allen.
he's been the best player picked.
Josh,
and
I-
then there's Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. I'm a hater, but he's really damn good.
Oh, he is incredible. And I'm not like a hater, but
Couldn't
I'm
score a
definitely not the
touchdown.
biggest fan.
Couldn't throw for a touchdown against Eli Apple CB1 defense. But
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, that was really.
And
good.
also, I want to say this now because I will probably be sounding like a hater for Josh Allen. I think it's not that I don't think he's an incredible football player. We've been told a lot about Josh Allen and the Bills and what they're gonna do
and they haven't done it.
and who he's gonna overtake and the conversation of who he's with.
Yeah,
And the conversation is Mahomes, obviously. Nobody's in that conversation. I don't think there's a bigger gap between like the best player, the best quarterback in football, and everyone else than in any other sport. Like
yeah,
maybe Ohtani.
yeah.
I think
Otani's probably the
Ohtani-
only one that would come close.
I mean, Mike Trout's like I don't know. People say Mike Trout's really good, but like Ohtani's just like he's an elite pitcher and hitter.
yeah,
Roquan Smith, good player. Mike
I love
McGlinchey.
Roquan Smith.
Listen, he
He's
got
okay.
a big second contract.
he's okay.
Josh Rosen,
Boo,
1 year as a starter.
and he
So
was
that's my
god
pick.
awful.
And after saying that all of those picks would be worse than him, would be a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your
I'm-
third pick?
My third pick, and this might be my last pick because I gotta go do some things here, so we might have to cut this episode a little short. Is going to be
An hour and a half in.
yeah. Is gonna have to be. I know it's overused a lot, overplayed a lot, but Jokic getting drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. That is hilarious. Because it's not like Jokic was just like an okay player. Because at first that's what it was. Like he was an all-star player. That it's like, oh, it's pretty funny that he got, taken during a Taco Bell commercial. But now he's like a top 5 center ever going during getting drafted.
I
during
think if Denver does what I think they're gonna do over these next 2 seasons, he's gonna be top 10.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's pretty crazy though, the amount of players in the league were like, yeah, they could easily be top 10 by the time they're drafted, or by the time their career's over.
Like Giannis is a player,
maybe
like
Luka, Jokic, like
Steph is a
Steph
top 10
is
player,
top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, he's top 10.
Yeah.
Funny thing about the Jokic draft, and I don't think people talk about this enough, he only went 41st overall. He went the second round in this draft. Had he declared for 2015 instead of 2014, he likely would have been like a top 10 lottery pick.
Yeah. No, I've heard stuff about that.
But like he declared early, the Nuggets jumped on the opportunity and landed one of the best players in NBA history. Pretty good.
Thank God they chose him over Yusuf Nurkic. Imagine that.
Yeah. The funny thing about that pick, though, that draft is, we thought there were going to be 2 MVPs coming out of that draft. We just thought they were going to be Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker.
Yep. I love Jabari Parker so much. I'm so upset he didn't pan out. One of my favorite players to watch as a youngin.
We did not expect it to be Joel Embiid and
oh yeah.
Well, maybe Embiid. I think if Embiid got healthy, we would be talking about him like that.
Oh yeah, he probably.
I think people thought he could get to that point if he was healthy, but no one saw that with Jokic. But we'll cut it to. I'll go with my last pick.
All right.
And my last pick is the entirety of the 2013 NBA draft.
Oh my God! I was actually looking at that top 10 the other day, and I was like, "Wow!"
It is.
Like, that is.
If you have not watched it, the single funniest draft coverage of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Bill Simmons guy in the world. I acknowledge what he's done for sports media.
Yeah.
Regardless, he's one. I think no matter what you do with a person, you don't have to. But I don't think Bill said so. He said a lot. But
yes, he has said many
things.
things.
He was incredible covering this draft.
Yeah.
From the first pick going, Anthony Bennett. Whoa!
Whoa!
To
incredible.
Pick 7 rolls around. And they ask him, because Ben McElroy, I think Ben McElroy was like Jay Bills' #1 player on the board.
That's crazy, and I really like Ben McElroy.
In that draft, going in. And he goes, he needs a veteran presence. He needs he'd be in a good locker room. And Bill Simmons like, oh, you don't think Boogie Cousins is that? And Jay Bills immediately goes, no.
Like, no, he's not.
He asked a really good question about Alex Len.
Oh my goodness.
He goes, Alex Len did not make all conference in college. He was honorable mention. He couldn't be like one of like the 10 best players in this conference, and he's gonna go top 5.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Rose had a great moment when Giannis picked. He goes, "Hey man, they're gonna call you Poe until you prove yourself." And boy did Giannis.
Yeah, I guess you could say he proved himself.
Then they thought that Bill Simmons and Jalen was still getting hyped because Nolan Stillwell was the pick. They thought he was going to the Warriors, and this is when they had Anthony Davis. So they got like 2 of Kentucky's best shot blockers ever.
Yeah.
In back-to-back drafts. Yeah, block Purdy, and then he gets traded for Drew Holiday. Oh.
Good grade.
And then David Stern was having a blast. I've never seen someone embrace being the villain as much as David Stern did in that draft.
He's a generational commissioner.
He was the first pick. He went because people thought Alex Len was going first overall. And then he goes, "Come on, louder, boo me louder." And then he goes, "Anthony Bennett," and then he says the whole thing.
Good
and
Lord.
he was having fun with the crowd all night. And to end, it was his last NBA draft as commissioner of the NBA. So they brought out Hakeem, who was his first ever pick as commissioner. Which
Really?
is funny. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is funny because when Adam Silver retires, unless I'm not gonna say. When Adam Silver retires, Andrew Wiggins will be probably have to come out on the stage. Because Andrew Wiggins was Adam Silver's first ever draft pick, which is very fitting for the type of tenure that Adam Silver has.
Yeah.
Commissioner. But that should do it for us.
Alrighty. Awesome.
Yeah. I'll put the link to my
hold on.
channel.
This is very random. I passed my road test today, boys.
Let's go.
It's been way too long, and I passed it. I didn't think I would, because I messed up pretty bad parallel parking. Literally the first mistake I've ever made.
Yeah, it's like the one thing, it's like parallel parking. I'm like, you don't really use that a lot.
That's because they don't care. Most people, because I had a younger person in it, I could tell that she did not care. She did not even open the door to see how far away I was from the curb. Didn't care. Let's go.
I remember when I took mine. But that's going to do it for us. I'll put my channel, I'll put Desmond's channel in the description below. Our Twitters are down below as well.
Yep.
This is really long. I think it's a sign.
Yeah, I remember we were saying we wanted our episodes to be like 40 minutes long, and now we're an hour past that almost. Yeah. Good lord. But that's okay, because I like to talk.
Yeah, but I can't wait for more. You're going to see a lot of content coming from this podcast. You're going to get, I'm going to, edit it down, add pictures and graphics and things like that. And the things, and you see YouTube shorts as well throughout the week. I don't know when the next episode is going to be out because, see, the thing is, I leave for Vegas in about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be here. So it might be a little bit of time, but I'll try to spread out the content so we can get as much in until the next episode. But yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already.
Hopefully I'll keep uploading.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye.